Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another college related video. I feel like I've been doing so many college related videos these past few weeks, but I do want to help y'all out, so I decided to continue on with the college university content. But today I'm going to be talking all about organization and how I personally organize my life and how different methods and systems I use to stay on track, the different apps I use, and all of that stuff. I will be including a lot of screen recordings just so you can see my laptop. So for most of this video I feel like I will be looking over here, and over here is my laptop, and I also have my notes over here. But yeah, I will be showing a few apps in this video, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, all of these applications are completely free except for obviously a planner, but we'll get into that in this video. But if you like my content, be sure to subscribe and like and comment on this video, and also check out my channel and look at some other videos that you might enjoy. I make all types of different content, so I'm sure there'll be something for you to watch. I also got new glasses the other day. I don't know, however you're feeling about them, I actually really like them. They're a bit of a different look than I usually go for, but I really like them. So hopefully they're not too much, they don't glare too much. I know I can see a bit of glaring here. Hopefully that doesn't bother y'all. I definitely need to be able to see. But yeah, with all that being said, let's just go ahead and get started into this video. Okay, so hopefully this works. I'm gonna try and put the screen recordings over here, so I'm trying to give myself some room for when I edit. But basically the first application, and well, I guess the first set of organization I'm going to be talking about is my notes. Like I said, I will be doing a whole video on note taking and all that stuff later on, but I've actually only been back into school and in college for a week now, and with this program there's not too many notes as of yet. So when I get more into that, I will definitely be making a whole note taking video. But specifically what I'm talking about is how I organize my notes. Depending on what classes you have and what major you're in, how you approach your note-taking organization style will be a bit different. I personally am in business. It's a bit of a unique situation. When I was in university, there was a lot of notes. I also did a minor in psychology, so there was a lot of notes, a lot of textbooks, a lot of key terms and all that stuff. So I definitely needed to be able to really get a system together with how I structured my notes. I think back in university I took 4 or 5 courses at a time. Now I think, I'm looking at my notes here, I think I'm taking 6 courses, which is really strange. 2 of them are a seminar, but 4 of them are actually a course, so I definitely need to make sure that I am on top of my organization so I don't go stir crazy. But the app that I actually use to do my notes is called OneNote. I actually use the app OneNote because I do my notes online. I absolutely love this app, but specifically I like how it organizes all of my notebooks. Okay, so this is what my OneNote notebook looks like when you first open it. As you can see on the side, I have a bunch of different courses with the course codes, so I like to organize them by course code because I find that usually when it comes to college, a lot of people don't refer to the course by the actual name, they just refer to them by the course code. So getting familiar with your course codes is very important. I have a whole I wrote down all the courses and I taped it on my desk. I can see it from where I'm sitting, and I have them all like color coded so I know which courses are what, especially at George Brown. Their course codes are very different from at Guelph, so I need to like get familiar with that. So as you can see, I have all of them on the side with the numbers and everything. But when you click on it, I'm going to be clicking on Business 4000. You can see at the very top it says Work Experience Prep, so there is a title for that. As you can see too, all of my courses have an assigned color, which as we'll get into the rest of this video, you will see I'm very color coordinated. I like to have everything kind of organized in that sense. There really isn't much of a rhyme or reason as to which course has what color, but typically I reserve purple and pink for courses that I'm really excited for. So yeah, but basically I have all of my courses lined up in OneNote. You can actually create notebooks, which is really cool. So you can create a notebook And then when you create a notebook, you can include a title, and then once you do that, it will add to your notebook collection. Okay, so when you first click into my Business 4000 notebook, this is what it looks like. I have a lecture 1 tab, and usually I like to organize my sections by week 1, week 2, and week 3. When I was in university, my lectures I had multiple times a week, so it was just easier to label each section as a week and just have all my corresponding lectures and chapter notes in one section. But because at George Brown I only have each class once a week, so it's just easier for me to lecture them as lecture 1 and lecture 2, just so there's no way I can get confused because I only have one lecture every week, if that makes sense. So this is what it looks like. As you'll see my title that has lecture 1. That day it was just an introduction, and then I just put my notes as lecture 1, and then I have another section for my chapter 1 notes. In each subsection you can make multiple sections, which is actually really cool, so just really ensures that you're super organized. But just for the sake of this video, I will show you how I create each section. So the first thing I do, I will go to the lecture 1, right click, and then I will bring up a kind of like a side window, I don't know how you would call that, and hit new section. Here I will just label this as we'll label this as lecture 2 just for the sake of this video, lecture 2, and then I will change the color, nothing to anything specific, but because this notebook or this course I labeled it as green, I will just pick another green color, so I'm gonna do that. Another thing I like to do, again, because I take all my notes online, I like to make it look as close to taking them by hand as possible. So to do that, I will change the paper style of my notes. So I'm gonna just go into view, hit paper style, and I'm gonna click the first paper option beside the non-paper option, if that makes any sense, and it's called narrow ruled paper. I don't know, you don't have to do that, but that's what I do. And then I just will label it lecture 1, or I guess in this case lecture 2. We'll just call it work experience prep, and that's how I will do my notes. If I had chapter notes, again, I will click on the lecture note tab, right click, and then I will create a new page, which is really cool because then you can keep everything in one folder instead of having it all over the place as you normally would. So then in this section I will just label it chapter 2, and then there's the title. So that's really cool because you just have everything in one notebook, and that goes the same with all the notebooks. As you can see, Business 4000 has all the lectures, and as time goes on, when you open it, everything is right there, and you can click on subsections and you have all the lectures and the corresponding chapter notes there. It just works. So yeah, that's how I organize my study notes and lecture and chapter notes. Hopefully that demo makes sense. I'm pretty sure OneNote, it also saves or syncs onto your OneDrive. So if you have Microsoft 365, it will also sync onto there, so you will have your notes everywhere, which is really cool, especially if you're doing some last minute studying on the bus. You can open them on your phone or whatever. So I would highly recommend getting OneNote if you are looking for a way to organize all of your notes. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is how I use Google Calendar. It's another online app. I'm sure all of you have heard about it, and I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing about it, but I do think it's very important to have, especially now that we're moving to more of a digital society. I do think having Google Calendar is very beneficial, especially as a student. I know there's so many different ways to organize Google Calendar. I know some people use Google Calendar as a daily planner. I mainly use Google Calendar. I think I've said Google Calendar 7 times, but I mainly use this app as a means of planning my entire month. It's very good to see, for me, like what I have at a month at a glance, because I don't have a traditional calendar hanging up in my room, and it's just easy, and I think you can have it on multiple different devices as well, so always on the go. But anyways, how I organize my Google Calendar is I have different colors for different things. Like I said, very color coordinated over here, but anyways, it works for me. So I like to make sure all of my course colors match up with the colors on my calendar. So as you see for September, I do have some things due for the different classes. My computer software class, for example, is orange on all of my organization methods. So I do like to keep it consistent so I don't get confused. So for example, today I have 2 things due for my comp class, but not only do I use this for long-term assignments for the entire month, I also use it to plan out any appointments, or if I have deadlines, for example, that need more planning in advance. For example, at the bottom on the 27th of September, I have a deadline for a award scholarship thing that I need to do. So it's nice to be able to see that long term, and so I can start working on it instead of just putting it into my planner. That way I can kind of gauge how many days, how many weeks I have until something is due. It seems very simple, but thought I would mention it because it is a system that I use for organization. And then of course I also have different colors for specific things. For me personally, whenever I need to pay my credit card, because you do not want to be late on your credit card payments, I use lavender to just remind me. So for example, today I need to pay my credit card, so I just put a reminder there, and it's also really good in case you need to save up for that credit card payment. You can kind of see long term when things are due. I don't know, I just think Google Calendar is pretty efficient. I mainly use it at the month view. I don't use it for the daily view, but yeah, I just thought I would mention that just in case you didn't know about it. Okay, so the last computer app I'm going to be showing you is called Taskade, and this is one that I actually haven't seen too many people use, but I love this app. So it's actually a Google Chrome extension. So if you have Google Chrome, I would highly recommend downloading it. I just feel like it's a lot more easier than using it as a website. Because I'm only using Safari at the moment, I'm just going to be logging onto their website and using Taskade, but it's completely free. I feel like you probably could pay for the upgraded version, but I use the free version and it works very well for me. So what I actually use Taskade for is specifically to plan out homework. So what I like to do is I like to plan out my homework for the entire week, just so that at a glance I can see everything that I have due for the week, whether it be an assignment, an essay, or chapter notes or whatever. So I can just write out absolutely everything that I have to do for the week or that I want to get done for the week, so that I can see it. That way when it comes to planning my day-to-day activities in my actual planner, I can kind of pick and choose what work I want to work on, what assignment I want to work on that day, instead of feeling forced to do something like I don't want to do. For example, if I have some math homework that I want to do that I see that I have to do in my Taskade, but I would rather not work on math and I want to work on something else, I can kind of like pick and choose which homework I want to do for the day, if that makes sense. So let's just delve more into Taskade and I'll show you how it all works. So when you first click on taskade.com, like I said, I'm using the website, but they also have a Google extension, which I would highly recommend to use. But basically, when you first log into Taskade, they will have you log in. I think you can use your Google, your Gmail. So if you have a Gmail, use that to sign in, and then you can make a profile and everything like that. So this is how it looks like at first. I have a separate tab labeled as weekly homework, so let's just click onto that. When you click on that tab, you will see a lot of different apps and everything like that. The one I usually use is just projects. So when I click on this, as you can see, I labeled it from September 11th to September 14th. So I think the reason I picked the 11th is that was just when I had started my work. Yeah, that was last Friday. That just happens to be when I started doing this. So, but usually I will label it from Monday to Sunday, and then on Sunday night I will remake another Taskade for that week. But because it was the first week of school, I just did it from September 11th to 14th. That way I can keep track of when, just the range of the week. So that's what that is here. I'm gonna click on it, and in here you will see just like a bunch of different courses. I will put the course code for all of the courses. Like I said, I mainly just refer to my courses as the course code, just because that's just what everyone refers to them as. And then I will label each course code with the corresponding color, of course. There's not that many colors in Taskade to choose from, so I just pick what the closest one is. So I will just write down for each course what homework is due. So for example, I have to do a practice assignment that's due today, and then other things I have to do for other courses. For example, I think this is my business communications course. I had to come up with a team name. You have to do a team vision board. I have chapter OneNotes, and I also have to email my prof for another class. So I will just write all the assignments that I have to do for what class as well, because I think if you specifically put in what class, you can kind of gauge what to do when. I will also put when assignments are due. I know I do that in my Google Calendar, but I also like to do it on Taskade, so again I can keep track of like what assignments I actually have to get done. So that's what I have here, and then as you finish them, you just click on the box and it will cross it off, and then you can unclick if you're not actually quite done. So that's really great, and I love doing this as well because it just keeps me on track, and then I feel like you just feel a lot more accomplished when you cross things out. I love crossing things out. You feel so much more productive, and it's so satisfying when you cross out your entire Taskade list for the week, and then you can create another one for the next week. Another cool thing about this, and why I like using this method too, is when I make my new Taskade for a new week, if there's an assignment that I didn't, or something that I didn't get done the previous week, I can actually go back and look what I didn't do and then put it on to the next week. So I always know what I have to do, what homework I need to accomplish, and it keeps you on track for sure. So yeah, that's how I use Taskade. Okay, so the last means of organization that I use is a planner. I think everyone knows what a planner is, but I decided to throw it in here because this is also very significant means that I use to organize my life. But this is my planner, super plain gray planner. I think I got this at Marshall for $5.99, so super cheap. This is the 2019-2020 calendar planner, so that's what I use. The way this planner specifically is set up is it has blocks for each day, which I prefer way more than other planners that are organized. I don't know, but one thing that I definitely look for is how it's like a blocked off almost agenda type planner. This is kind of similar to what I used to use when I was in like grade school, and I love this method because you can really get everything down. But the way I use my planner is I will use this specifically to plan out day-to-day things that I need to do. For example, today I needed to fold my clothes, do the dishes, work out, stretch, do all that type of stuff. This is where I would also put down reminders for my assignments, or if I have an appointment today, I have a group meeting at 5, so I wrote that down in here. And then I like to cross it out as I go. So I actually did do the dishes today, so I'm gonna cross that out. I also did some laundry. I'm gonna cross that out as well. And I'm filming this video so I can cross that out. So that's what I also like to do. And if I don't get something done, I can just move it on to the next day. It's really not a big deal, but that's how I specifically like to use my planner. Another really cool thing about this, it has a top section that has notes, and I started doing this a little bit ago. But what I like to do for the notes section of this planner is put down things that I need to do that week that aren't super urgent, but I also need to get done, but I don't necessarily have a specific day for them. For example, this week I really need to wax my eyebrows and I really need to upload a video. So with those things, I don't really know what day I need to do those, what day I can do those, obviously because I'm in school and stuff like that. But just knowing that those are things that I want to achieve by the end of the week is really helpful, because if I have sort of a gap in my day and I'm like, I don't really know what to do, I can go and look at the notes section of my planner and see the things that I have to do for the week that I don't necessarily have a day for, so I can slot those in. So that is how I use my planner. But yeah, that's the end of my video. I really hope it was helpful and I hope it made sense. I feel like the way I structure my life seems very complicated, but it's really not. Every app and every form of organization has a different purpose, so it definitely keeps me on track and make sure I get everything done that I need to get done. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful and you can take some tips and learn some new apps. I don't know. But yeah, that is everything for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like my content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Like I mentioned before, like and comment on this video. It would really help me out and I would definitely appreciate it. But yeah, that's everything, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
These days, it's not easy.